This podcast has been brought to you by JJ Marketing Advantage, which was established in 2007. Our team is made up of super talented marketing, design, creative, digital, and media experts with over 40 years of experience. Our brand, marketing, and digital departments take on bite-sized jobs, all the way through to long-term large projects. We are located at 895 Don Mills Road, Suite 900 in Toronto, Ontario, M3C1W3. Our number is 647-234-3631. You can find us at jjmarketingadvantage.com. This podcast has been powered by Kick the Media. KickTheMedia.com. There has never been a better time to listen to an epic podcast. Kick the Media back is as an entertainment production company that helps support a wide range of podcast shows, artists, long and short film producers of any platform. We want to open up an easy-to-use platform for companies to assist the newcomer into the industry. Even if you're a professional at what you do, come on over and see how we do things at Kick the Media. And tell us if you like our style. That was www.kickthemedia.com. We can also be reached at 226-782-0491. 226-782-0491. We are located in beautiful Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Once again, this podcast was powered by KickTheMedia.com. Welcome everybody to another episode of Who Is That? Powered by Kick the Media. My name is Josh Jaco, aka Buffalo Josh. I will be your host today for this beautiful episode of Who Is That? Today we have a very, very special guest today on the show. You may have heard of him, you may have not have heard of him. He operates a dating site called CannaMatch.ca. That was CannaMatch.ca. His name is Glenn Wells. Would you like to introduce yourself, Glenn?
Sure. Hi, my name is Glenn Wells. I'm my age? 55. I live in Mission, British Columbia. I've lived here for about 25 years, originally from Toronto. I lived in Toronto for about 16 years, just growing up. Now I'm on Cannabis Culture and Pot TV. What else would you like to know?
Awesome. Now, I did do a little bit of research, Glenn, here now. I noticed that you did hitchhike across Canada, from what I understood. Do you want to elaborate a little bit on that?
Sure. All right. Okay. I'll just tell you. When I was young, I was sexually abused by the Big Brother from a Big Brothers Association in Toronto. So I left Toronto when I was 16 years old because I didn't want to have to keep remembering what had happened to me as a child. So I hitchhiked across Canada to British Columbia. And when I got to BC, I loved it. Right? So I was in trouble with the law for selling hash and acid in Toronto and stuff like that. So, in order to not go to jail, you had to go to BC where they wouldn't come and get you, right? So I would travel back and forth, and eventually I just got to the point where I just wanted to stay here in British Columbia. I had my first child in Toronto at St. Michael's Hospital, and after that I was like, I'm not going to live in Toronto and raise a child by myself, and so we came out to British Columbia, and we've been here ever since. So
originally from which city?
Well, I would always hitchhike from Mission to Mississauga and back. So I've done that since I was 16 years old, and I did it for 12 years, like constantly. It's more than 12 years, but for 12 years, I would leave every summer here in the month of June and hitchhike to my mom's, spend a week or two there, and then hitchhike back home for 12 years constantly. So
wow.
I have met so many people. I've heard so many stories. I've had people take me into their homes in the middle of the night because they don't want to put me on the side of the highway and give me a place to sleep. I always had money for food and stuff like that. Sometimes I'd go into a restaurant and go up to the counter to pay my bill, and somebody else would pay my bill for me. So it's been really amazing. The most amazing things I've had happen to me while I was hitchhiking was one time I got picked up at, well, no, I stayed in a place called St. Anne, Manitoba, and I spent the night there. And when I came out of the hotel room, there was a guy that was gassing up his truck, and I asked him, I said, I have scoliosis, and I have a heavy bag. Could you give me a ride to the highway? He says, yeah, sure, no problem, right? So he get in his truck, and he goes, oh, wow. He says, I took you to the wrong side of the highway. He says, tell you what. He says, come to my house, we'll give you breakfast, and we're going to Winnipeg in about an hour and a half. I said, sure, no problem, because that's the way I was heading, right? So we get there, and his wife is the barber or hairdresser for the whole little town of St. Anne. He says, I know what we can do. He says, we're going to give you a free haircut, right? So this was Canada Day, July 1st, St. Anne, Manitoba. Don't know these people, and here I got a free haircut. And I said to the lady, I will never, ever forget you. And to this day, I am still telling that story.
Hey, that's okay. It's the fact is that, you know, it's the memories that will be with us for the rest of our lives, right?
And then the video that you saw, Frank, the truck driver. If you watch the whole video, you seen Frank pick me up, and then I also got Frank on the way back. And that had never, ever happened, where when I was hitchhiking to Toronto and hitchhiking back, I got the same ride from the same person. Like, not the same ride, but a ride from the same person. Never, ever had that happen, right? So I was going up to Edmonton. I said, oh, what the hell? I got Frank's number. Just give him a call. Frank was at Edmonton. He took me all the way back down to Vancouver. I was like, yeah. That man was from Australia, and it was an exchange driving thing. So he was here from Australia driving in Canada, and a Canadian truck driver went to Australia and drove down there. Right? It was an exchange thing. He had a heart attack while he was here, and he had to go home. So, but he was blogging while we were doing this whole thing. That was part of his blog that he had picked up a Canadian hitchhiker and stuff like that. It was really, really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've obviously, you know, you've had some very interesting experiences, definitely hitchhiking, that's for sure, right?
Never a bad one. Now, and you know what? People say to you, oh, I'm never going to trust anybody ever again. And I always say, every time that I was hitchhiking and I opened that door, I had to trust that person to give me a ride safely. And I say, I am still here today. So don't say you can't trust anybody, because I'm living proof that you can.
Exactly.
All right?
Now, another thing I noticed on your profile, which is almost public information, you also work with some rock bands. Did you want to elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah. My one of my uncles was the manager of Teenage Head in Toronto. So I was able to get into the industry through them. I did many, bar scene stuff with Teenage Head. And then my very first concert was in the 1980s with The Who at Maple Leaf Gardens. I did 3 days with them. And during the daytime, I was an errand runner. And at nighttime, I was an assistant boom operator. And now, do you know what a boom is?
Like a lift, a forklift almost?
Yeah. So it's for the camera shots that are up in the air. See, in the 80s, that was run by hydraulics, right? And it still is today. But they needed somebody at the base of the boom, because the guy was way up there, that if the hydraulic system shut down, somebody had to push the button and start it up again. That was my job. I got paid $250 a night to sit at the bottom of that thing and push a button if it shut down. And I got 3 concerts, right?
Okay.
And it was The Who, and I got to party with them. I seen them, like, when you think of a band, you think of it as a band. But when we were unpacking their stuff in the big black boxes, it said The Who Corporation, right? It was massive. They had their own furniture. They had their own video games. I was playing their Robotron. I was playing Centipede. I was playing Asteroids. It was all there. It's all owned by The Who Corporation. It was awesome, man. So then I worked for Yngwie Malmsteen, Platinum Blonde, The Spoons, Kim Mitchell, Triumph. Triumph was my last concert, was Yngwie Malmsteen and Triumph in War Memorial Auditorium in Buffalo. And I seen 65,000 people light up their lighters, because we didn't have cell phones then, right? And the whole place just glowed yellow, and it's like, you wonder why band guys get up on the stage and do this. Well, you know how we all have an aura? When you got 65,000 auras together, you feel that energy. It is amazing. And it really drains you at the end of the show that you've been taking in all this year cheering. And you just feel like I'm getting goosebumps right now because I can remember the feeling. Being up on the stage down the side and feeling this energy was like, wow. So, yeah, it really brought me to being a humanist, believing in the power of people as a spirit, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, I also noticed over the last several years, you've also done a couple other things. I also noticed that on your profile, I forget where I saw it, might have been on Twitter or somewhere, but you also worked for Canada Post way back when.
Yeah.
You want to elaborate a little bit?
And in Toronto. So I worked at Gateway and I worked at South Central. I was the inside sorter. And also the parcel guy. So for express mail and stuff like that. That's where I first started. So 4 years of doing that. Also worked in Surrey at the post office on King George Highway in front of the Dell. So, yeah, that was interesting.
You've done a wide range of things as well, too.
Yeah, I right down to a gas station attendant. I even worked at McDonald's.
And I also noticed just recently you also would do when the federal elections, I think it was, that you also...
I do all the federal elections right since 1990s.
And why is that, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, money.
Well, obviously money, but is there a reason why you decided to do that?
Well, when I first did it, I was like, wow, this is interesting. And so I've just continued to do it. And now I have experience. They hire me all the time. So now I get the good money, right? So I can be an area supervisor, which is basically when you walk into the school, all the people that are sitting in their tables, I'm their boss. Right? So I'm the big boss right there. So that's basically what I do for them now. But when you do it year after year, so I do provincial and I do federal, right? So you get to know what to do. People get to know you and stuff like that. It's a really good way to get known in your community for other things than just smoking pot and doing podcasts and stuff. Right?
That's very, very true.
There's another side of me. There's a daddy side, too. I got an 8-year-old girl. So, some days when she's with me, then it's daddy mode, right?
No, I noticed that at the beginning of the podcast, you said that you had 4 kids. Is that
I have
correct?
4 kids, 30, 29, 27, and 8.
Wow.
Yes. You don't always do everything right the first time. Now I got lucky and a second chance to do even a better job.
Yeah, and at least sometimes we get that opportunity to have that second chance or that second opportunity per se, right?
And if you're a new parent and you're listening to this right now, don't ever think that you're going to do a perfect job, because being a parent is not doing it perfectly. There's things that you're going to learn that you never thought that you would have to learn, and don't ever put yourself down because you feel stupid that you didn't know that. That's the most thing about parenting is don't put yourself down. You're there to learn. They're there to learn from you. Right. And if they see that you make mistakes and you make it through your mistakes, then you're teaching them to do the same thing.
Exactly. And, I can relate 100% to that as well, too. I have an 8-year-old son, and, parenting is never easy. You're always learning something different.
Yeah.
But with that being said, before we get into CannaMatch.ca, you did mention that you are also on another podcast or Pot TV. Do you want to elaborate a little bit more, explain a little bit more? I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's the THC show. I'm on
Neil. It's called the THC Show with Neil Magnuson. It's on Cannabis Culture on Facebook with about 2.7 million people on that page. And I think Pot TV has just over 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. So Neil Magnuson, if you don't know who he is, he runs the CSP, which is the Cannabis Substitution Project in the downtown east side of Vancouver. He gives out high-dose edibles and marijuana to people so that they will have an alternative to taking fentanyl and opioids. And he has made such a big difference. And he has some big news he was going to announce today or tomorrow coming up. So he's been doing that for 3 years now, and even myself, when I walk through the park to go to the studio every Tuesday, where I used to see people, smoking crack and doing needles, they're now rolling joints and you can smell pot, right? So he's making a difference, and it's really cool. I've even gone down there and helped out and volunteered and hand out the edibles and stuff like that. And I brought them fruit down there because they really like fruit, like oranges and stuff like that. So yeah, Neil is an awesome man. I was going to all the 420 events at the art gallery and stuff like that. I've seen Neil through the years and stuff, but to know that so many years later we would be friends and I would be asked to be on his show, right?
It's definitely a beautiful thing.
It is, yeah. I used to see him sitting up there singing his old cannabis song, right? And I was like, oh yeah, I like that guy, right? I never knew him, but just as I come forward in the cannabis community, I've met all these amazing people and stuff like that, and yeah, it's awesome.
But see, that also brings you to the next thing, right? It's all about networking at the same time too, right? Like with you on CannaMatch.ca being a cannabis-friendly business, right? Obviously, which we'll definitely get into. But my question to you, since you're on this, Magnuson's show and whatnot, and you helped them out with the substitution project. What's your opinion about cannabis as a substitute project? Like a substitute for narcotics?
I'm all for it because I've actually seen the difference that it makes. He gets like 250, 300 people lining up every Thursday and Sunday for that medicine. And it's amazing. It's changed. Like he's got lots of interviews. He has a lady that does interviews there of the people who are in line who would like to do it. And they tell the reason how he's changed their lives and stuff like that. It is so amazing. It just fills your heart, It's to see people out there trying to make a difference and it's actually working.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not for sure if BC has passed it yet or not, but I know they were talking a while. I know last year because I was keeping track of it, but they were talking about decriminalizing all drugs. What's your opinion on that?
They do have now. They have clean drugs. The city is providing clean drugs at some of their sites, so that you don't have to buy the stuff off the street now. So, which is stopping people from ODing, and we're not losing as many people. So, yeah, I think for that downtown east side, yes, that's probably the best thing that they could do. It might not be for what you need for your small town or something, but for what Vancouver is going through and stuff like that, yes, that is definitely a good thing. And they're even on the side of Neil, like because of the new rules, Neil shouldn't be doing what he's doing, but they're allowing it because they see that it's actually making a difference.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like as long as you're not causing harm, like
yes,
there's no justification around it, at least. But with that being said, let's talk a little bit more about your company, about CannaMatch.ca. Why did you come up with it?
Well, I was on Plenty of Fish and eHarmony, and I was upfront in my description that I smoke marijuana. I'm a cannabis smoker. I never got a hit. Nobody would ever send me a message. I was like, holy crap, I'm putting out this money and, people aren't talking to me or whatever. So I figured there's got to be a 420 friendly dating site for people who smoke and meeting site, right? So I mulled it. And eventually I had $1,000. I said, okay, I'm going to go look. And I Googled, dating sites and stuff like that. There wasn't one. There was a couple in the States, but it wasn't very big. So I said, what the hell? And I found a company called Chameleon, and I bought the site from them, and they built it up for me with my ideas and stuff like that. And there we go. Now we have a 420 friendly dating site where it's like-minded people meeting like-minded people. Right? It's perfect. and you don't even have to date. You can just meet somebody because we know us stoners like to meet new people and smoke joints with them and get along. Now we got COVID-19. So if you want to smoke a joint with somebody, that's up to you or them.
Well, you can always do a virtual session, right? You can always do a virtual session because I know I decided, to sign up today and browse around with the features. And if I'm not mistaken, there was like video options or something.
Yeah, there's a 3D city and stuff like that too. So I haven't even. Have you been activated yet? I haven't gone into the site yet today.
I signed up as Kick the Media just for testing purposes and whatnot.
All right.
But, I can be honest. I've tried other dating platforms, and I can agree with you 100%. They never really work out. So far, from what I've seen off of just viewing CannaMatch.ca just for today, it seems very user friendly.
Yes. You know what? I'm going to give you 500 credits right now for signing up, and then you can talk to other people and meet some new friends. There you go. I just gave you 500 credits, and you are now part of CannaMatch. You are my 4,144th person.
And growing and counting.
And growing, yeah. Every day.
So when did CannaMatch.ca start up?
Almost 3 years ago. In July, it'll be 3 years. Yep. No, so 4,114th person to sign up.
Wow.
So there's 4,000 people on there that you can potentially meet, smoke dope with. And I always say to the guys, all the girls on CannaMatch smoke weed, and all the girls, I say to the girls, all the guys on my site smoke weeds. And that really makes them laugh. Remember, that guy made me laugh, right? So it's important. Making people laugh makes it more memorable for the person, I guess, and leaves a mark in your brain, right? So
now, with legalization happening, have you seen an increase? Because you said this started in 2016. Legalization just happened recently. So have you seen an increase?
Yes. When we got legalization, I went up 2,500 people.
Wow.
Yeah. But also, I hired Tracy Lamar to do my public relations. So she got me on the news and stuff like that, too. So a couple of days after it was legalized, I was on the national news. I was on local news. I was doing radio shows and stuff like that. So Linda Steele and stuff like that. So yeah, it was pretty good. It was worth the money I paid her.
Now, as a new user or somebody out there, somebody who uses other dating sites that are very popular out there, right?
Yeah.
What's the difference, do you think, for somebody, obviously the cannabis thing, but what do you think the difference between yours and your competition's?
Well, I think the only thing really is it's a dating site, but mine is a cannabis dating site. So, you're only going to find people who smoke cannabis or want to meet you and smoke cannabis with you. I don't think eHarmony, well, you might, eHarmony, you have the meeting part and you might not date that person afterwards. So that's sort of the same thing too, right? But yeah, mostly I did it because it was cannabis friendly. Like the person that you're going to meet, what I say is don't bring a bottle, bring a bag.
Now, right. Have you heard of any success stories? Have you had any success stories?
Yeah. I had 3 success stories. So Dan, he just lives down the street. He met a nice lady, and I heard 2 other people online. I just can't remember their name, but they've come up to me and say, "Oh, Glenn, I met a really nice lady on CannaMatch." So yes, I've heard 3 stories so far.
Okay. Now, are you happy with it, or is there anything you would want to change?
Oh, I'm happy with it now, but it's going to grow because with that sexual abuse case, I'm have a lawyer that doesn't get paid unless I get paid. We're in the 3rd year of our case of suing the Big Brothers. I'm about to win. I have a ruling in my favor from the Ontario Criminal Compensation Board that this actually happened to me, so they can't say it didn't. So they're about to make me an offer. Once I get that offer, I'm going to make a commercial for CannaMatch. And my commercial is going to be 2 Cupids standing at a dab bar trying to do a dab, but they can't because their phone keeps ringing because there's a new match on CannaMatch. Right? And one of the wings are going to be rainbow wings. Right? To include everybody in the cannabis community, because we have straight people, we have gay people, we have transgender people, we have all kinds of people who smoke cannabis.
Different ethnicities, doctors, lawyers, politicians, you name it. Right?
Yeah. So I wanted to be a little bit different, and so I would just choose white-winged Cupids there, throwing in a little bit of rainbow wings. And I'm going to be doing that at the Cannabis Life Network studios, where Craig Expert Joints does. I've already gave them a $500 deposit, so I've got to come up with $4,500 more, and we can get this done in a green room. Yeah.
That'd be very, very interesting to see how it turns out.
Yeah, well, I've been waiting years to do it. I've tried to get sponsors. I tried to do the YouTube thing where you subscribe to my channel, get the 1,000 people so I can start making money. But, I'm more popular on Facebook than I am on YouTube. Like when I do a video on Facebook, I get thousands of views, right? If I do it on YouTube, but now I can post my videos on the Pot TV side, then it would definitely go up, right? But yeah,
that's very, very true.
Yeah.
Now,
maybe I can start a campaign on Neil's show and get the people out there to help me make some money for CannaMatch to get this commercial done. Go to my page and subscribe. Hey, there, maybe. Maybe I'll do that on Tuesday.
Now, what are some mistakes you wish you could have avoided?
Mistakes?
Yes.
Some of the mistakes I could have avoided. Getting caught selling hash and acid on Yonge Street in the 80s.
Okay, and then how about towards CannaMatch.ca? Is there any mistakes that you think you might have made and avoid anything for that?
I would say, some days I don't put as much attention into it as I would like, but being that I'm a single dad half the week too, that sort of makes me feel okay. Like, it's not like I'm not doing anything. I am busy with my child too. So, as she gets older, I'll be able to get more attention to it. As I get richer, I'll be able to put more money into the company and stuff like that too. So, hopefully, the cannabis community is growing right now because of legalization. I'm almost up to 5,000 people. Once I get that video out there online and in a commercial or something like that, it'll definitely start growing.
Yeah, and hopefully it does. And hopefully it grows. Like they say, it's progress, not perfection. So hopefully you see that progress go. In the way you want it to.
If you're a lady and you're listening to this podcast right now, I will give you 10,000 free credits if you go sign up at CannaMatch.ca for the rest of the month of June.
The rest of the month of June.
Yeah, only on this show are you going to hear that, because I'm not going to say it anywhere else. So if you're a lady, and it's also free for men to sign up, but we're just trying to get the ladies on there so the guys can have someone to talk to. Right? So we'll give 10,000 free credits for all the ladies who want to sign up to CannaMatch.ca.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that.
No problem.
Now, there are some more questions I may ask you. Some of those questions that I did have planned to ask you, you kind of already answered, such as planning on growing your business. So you mentioned that you wanted to do a commercial.
Yeah.
But going back to reflecting to another question that I did ask you, but one thing that you, wish that you could have changed, and you mentioned getting caught in the 80s with hash. Why do you say that?
Well, I used to sell. Okay. I used to sell at Yonge in College. Actually, it was Yonge on Granville Street, actually, in this arcade in the 80s. So, I did pretty good. Out of 8 years, only got caught 6 times. I had a really good lawyer. I always got weekends in jail instead of a full time in jail. So you used to you'd be able to go to jail with my clothes on and stuff like that. But yeah, so I lost a lot of weekends of my younger 20 years. I think I was dealing from about age of 17 till I was 25 when I had my first kid, and then I stopped. So every night, Yonge in College, down there selling hash and acid, $15 a gram, 2 for $25, $5 a hit for acid, 5 for $20. And that's what I did to be able to survive on the street, because I was living. We didn't have the supports that we have now. Like, I couldn't get welfare or anything, so I had to do something. So that was paying my rent and putting food in my belly and clothes on my back. So that's what I did.
Well, sometimes you have to do what you have to do, right, to get by. So sometimes it sucks, but
I'm still here today.
Exactly.
Right.
Now, with that being said, what's one thing that you wish you had known when you began your career as an entrepreneur, starting the whole CannaMatch.ca and moving forward?
What? What's one thing I would have known to help me I don't know.
I was like, what's one thing you wish you had known when you began?
Oh, that it was going to be this fun.
Right?
Yeah. Life has been really fun. You know, I've had my bad days, which is dealing with the PTSD, which I deal with every day from the sexual abuse. But life has been fun lately. I'm getting to the fun side, right? Things have been better. I've got a great psychiatrist, and I used to see him once a week. Now I see him once every 6 months. Right? So things have definitely got better.
Now, what advice would you give someone who's wanting to pursue a career similar to yours?
Be honest and be funny.
Be honest and be funny is the advice you want to give them?
Yep. Don't lie. Just be who you are. People will love you for who you are, and people will love you for who you are, or will hate you for who you are also. That's just the balance of life. For all the good things, there are bad things. And we would not know what a good thing is unless we had a bad thing.
Exactly.
Right?
Now, for the next question, who are 3 people who have been the most influential to you?
I don't know. Well, Neil Magnuson, for one, he's definitely influencing my life right now, today. In my past, I guess there was a friend that lived in my mom's building, and I don't remember his name, but I used to always hang out with him. And I guess, I don't know, a third person. I don't know. I'm going to go with my mom. Make my mom happy.
Well, hopefully she listens to this.
Yeah, well, she probably won't. But even though we had years where I was in the group homes and stuff like that, and that's because I was a child that was abused. I wasn't feeling like I was allowed to say anything, so I acted out and stuff like that. But yeah, my mom is still there for me today, and I love my mom to the point where I was hitchhiking from British Columbia to Toronto every year and back just to go see her, right? And it was also a time for me to reflect, right? I got to meet new people, right? Which was like dealing on Yonge Street where you're meeting new people or you had your regular customers. But hitchhiking was sort of like the same excitement of meeting somebody and talking to somebody that you didn't know and stuff like that. So, that's what my life has been, a lot of meeting people. And I think that's what helped me do CannaMatch, right? Knowing what people really need. Right? And just getting it out there. And the next stage is getting the commercial done, getting the money for the commercial.
And one day you'll get there for sure.
Oh yeah. Because my lawyer doesn't get paid unless I do. So I know I'm going to get it.
Now, what is one common myth about your profession or field that you want to debunk?
That cannabis is bad for you. It's great for you. I love cannabis.
You're trying to tell me it's not the devil's lettuce?
It's not the devil's lettuce. I got a sign right there over there that says that too. I'm smoking it right now. No, it's been great for my PTSD. It's been great for my scoliosis. I have a curvature of the spine, a lower curvature down at the bottom. So my first attack of being paralyzed from the waist down was when I was 11. They told me that when I was going to be 40 that I would be in a wheelchair, but I'm 55 and still working. I do believe that's because I was a courier for those 8 years that I was also selling hash and acid. I was always walking instead of sitting behind a desk. So that's probably what's made the difference.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, if you could step into my shoes, what would you have asked yourself that I didn't?
I don't know. Okay, in your shoes?
Yeah, so if you could step into my shoes right now, what would you have asked yourself that I didn't so far?
Oh, you mean like a question?
Yes.
Geez, wish you would have gave me a heads up on this stuff there, Josh. That's
not the point of an interview.
Yeah, I know. But the big people stars get their questions ahead of time.
Dum.
They have people that contact their people and say, "Hey, we want those questions now." Geez. I don't know. I guess you've covered a lot of the stuff. I would more I would like to lean to what you could ask me was what's the best thing that I've learned in life so far.
Okay, so what is the best thing you've learned in life so far?
That you never stop learning.
Very, very, very,
You're,
very.
and you're not perfect. Nobody is perfect. In order to be a human being, you need to be able to make mistakes so that you can learn. Right? If you're perfect, you're not making mistakes. So how can you be learning anything? Right? So I tell my daughter that all the time. There is nobody in the world who is perfect. You're going to make mistakes. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to make mistakes with you. You're going to make mistakes with me. That's just being human. And that's how we learn. So, yeah, you never stop learning, right? You never know it all.
Now, for our listeners out there, where can they connect with you online or connect with CannaMatch online?
CannaMatch.ca, www.CannaMatch.ca. Glenn Wells, GLENNWELLS, on Facebook and on YouTube. I do believe that's me on YouTube. Let me just take a look to make sure while we're here. Quickly. I am. Yeah, I do believe I'm Glenn Wells. What is it? Yeah, Glenn Wells. That's me on YouTube. So
awesome. And you said the CannaMatch.ca is where they can go?
Pardon me?
CannaMatch.ca is where they can go to find
Yeah,
out.
www.CannaMatch.ca in Canada and www.CannaMatch.com if you're in the States.
Now, those are most of the questions that I have here today. Now, there is a couple more questions, and we'll do like maybe a 2-minute chit chat. But do you plan on retiring anytime soon or in the near future?
Planning on retiring? God, I got an 8-year-old. How can I do that? I still got at least another 12 years to go with her. But with the money that I hopefully am getting, yes, I will not be retiring. I'm still going to be the part of the cannabis community. I'm still going to go to the THC show with Neil Magnuson. Those are the things I really enjoy. I'm still going to get out there and do interesting stuff with my daughter and not with my daughter. Yeah, I'm probably going to actually, if I get the money, I'm probably going to have more content to share because I'll be able to go and do more things and be in interesting places and go live where people haven't gone before, right? Stuff like that. So yeah, I think that with the cash I hopefully will be getting, probably do more stuff.
Awesome. Well, we definitely look forward to it. And, we definitely appreciate you being on the podcast today. If you didn't know who Glenn Wells was today on Who Is That, you've definitely learned who Glenn Wells was, but who he is and what he does. And, hopefully.
I got famous on Facebook with my Good Morning Facebook.
They can see you, for example, every morning live if they wanted to, doing some good.
That used to be it. Right now, you can see me live Mondays on Cannabis Information with Kim Cooper. I do the 4:20 or like 4:05 Pacific time, 7:05 Eastern time every Monday, and then Tuesdays I'm on at 4 o'clock. That's 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern with Neil Magnuson. So I do occasional pop in, do live ones, and but just when I feel like doing it, right? But yeah, I get my sort of fill of doing the thing with Kim Cooper and Neil, so that sort of thing. But I'd like to do one on the weekend probably too. So we'll just see how things go.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being on the show today, Glenn. We appreciate having you here, and hopefully in the near future we can have you on as a guest for an update and see how things go.
I thank you very much. I'd love to come back. Don't forget to go out and do something nice for someone today. They'll go out and do something nice for someone else, and we'll all have a much better world to live in. And that's most important for our children and our grandchildren.
Thanks for being here, Glenn, and you have yourself a wonderful day.
You too.
Thank you very much for being here.
All right.
This podcast has been brought to you by JJ Marketing Advantage, which was established in 2007. Our team is made up of super talented marketing, design, creative, digital, and media experts with over 40 years of experience. Our brand, marketing, and digital departments take on bite-sized jobs, all the way through to long-term large projects. We are located at 895 Don Mills Road, Suite 900 in Toronto, Ontario, M3C1W3. Our number is 647-234-3631. You can find us at jjmarketingadvantage.com. This podcast has been powered by Kick the Media. KickTheMedia.com. There has never been a better time to listen to an epic podcast. Kick the Media back is as an entertainment production company that helps support a wide range of podcast shows, artists, long and short film producers of any platform. We want to open up an easy-to-use platform for companies to assist the newcomer into the industry. Even if you're a professional at what you do, come on over and see how we do things at Kick the Media. And tell us if you like our style. That was www.kickthemedia.com. We can also be reached at 226-782-0491. 226-782-0491. We are located in beautiful Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Once again, this podcast was powered by KickTheMedia.com.